Good morning. What is API testing? So, yeah, let's start. Basically, any given web application will have two components. One is front end, and another one is back end. And back end will be talking to basically database, and then this will be the user. User will be interfacing with front end. So now, like I have taken a specific case study, and I'll show you how it works. So basically, like this is a backend application. This is the one which we are trying to launch, and then this is basically front end, which is Angular. I'll not touch it in today's session. But before, how did I get this one? Let's see. How did I get this one? So basically, you need to make use of Spring Tool Suite IDE, or like you can build outside also, either way. So the Spring Tool Suite is specifically made for Spring applications. Okay. Now, before that, I want to show you one more thing. Yeah. See. Like this is a tool on Kubuntu which you can make use of for memory profiling and CPU profiling and things like that. Basically, like how the application fares with respect to various things. Now, and yet another application that I'll need is Postman. I'll open that later, but let's go to yeah, basically let's go to this application. So how do I build this application is just right click. You would have imported it as a Maven application. Just you say run and then say as a Maven build. Then it will ask. So here I have set up already. Just if you say Maven package, yeah, it has built it properly. The author of this application is Ravikant Soni, and it is published as a part of Apress. Need not be the best of the books, but yeah, should be good enough to start with. And like the build is successful, you have seen, right? So you just need to go to target, and it would have generated it. So this is a jar that we are talking about. This jar is available here. This is one. Okay. Now basically what it is supposed to do. So basically, this is this backend is supposed to expose four set of CRUD operations, basically create, read, update and delete. So which internally like you can map to post, get, put and delete. Now let's see how it helps. Basically, see, I'll make this thing up. Okay, I'll make this yeah, it started in very short span started. Now let's see, this becomes available here at the local host. Okay, so this becomes available at the local host. Now generally you would have seen this kind of web pages, right? Like this is the front end, and this front end is available because of the Angular. And like whenever you say something like this, register new user, I'll go on registering new users, and just I'll say okay, and okay. Now when I say register, this thing became available now, like abhi at abc.com Belgium, and then edit and delete two buttons are there. So but if you see here, if you see in the backend, it would have sent this particular request to register a user to backend. So if you just go up, you should be able to see it. Okay, you should be able to see it. Initialization completed in 27 millisecond it is telling, and like the fetching all users, like after registering, see here, this is the one which I wanted to show. Now I created using, like here I registered a new user, and like that came to the backend, and backend invoked creating user. Now this is a timestamp 8:8:30, and we are at 8:9. Okay, I'll repeat it. I'll repeat it once again. I'll register yet another user. Let's say just I'm going on giving some. Now I'll say register. So this registration should have landed on backend. See here, creating new user. So this is at 8:10 and we are at 8:10, right? So like whenever you do this thing, right, like go on registering the users from the front end, in this case Angular, it goes and lands onto the backend, and backend registers it in the database. In this case, this application is making use of H2 database, which is persistent for bring up, but like non-persistent across bring ups, right? Like if so the database remains as long as this application is up, but the moment the application is down, like the data gets wiped off. But for our demonstration purpose, this kind of database should be good enough to begin with. So now if you see, so create, whatever we did, right? Create is basically whenever we are registering, it invokes, it calls post, and then whenever we want to get all the users, we call get, that read get. And whenever you say update, right, whenever you want to edit or anything, like I can as well edit this. So this internally will be calling, like I'll just say update user. Okay, there is a bug in this program, no problem. Like see, update should be able to update it. So that got validated here, and you can delete it. You can delete it. So say list all users, and let me try deleting. So deleted. Now see here, deleting user with ID 1. So whatever we did operation here, it ended up on backend here, that is Spring Boot application. Now let's try re-registering the user once again. So this would have landed here, creating a user. Fine. Now see, what I wanted to show is basically what API testing is. So today's theme is like theme of the presentation is what API testing is. Now there is a utility called Postman. Let's make use of this Postman utility. See here, we have already hit 3.8 GB, not because of Postman, but with few applications very easily we go up to 4 GB, so it's better to have 8 GB RAM in your system. Now it's opening up. Yeah, some of the things that I have done is already here. So basically this, okay, this backend exposes these REST endpoints, API user for a given ID, and two get operations, one post and one put and one delete. So the front end will be invoking these REST endpoints, and then the operation happens in the database. So now, like what you could do is, this Angular is talking to the backend, right? Like you could make use of Postman here. this is what we are doing exactly, postman, and directly you will be hitting postman, right? Via postman you will be hitting the backend directly. Let me delete it. Let me take bi-directional arrow, and yeah, you will be hitting the postman wherever it is. As long as the concepts are clear, it should be fine. This postman will be directly talking to the backend. Let's simulate that. So what you do is, okay, did I close postman? Okay, this is postman. Now, like what we'll do now, like already we have registered how many users? 2. Let me register one more user. Say, I'll say my son's name. See, now we have 3 users in the database, right? 3 users in the database. Let's try getting users, right? Let's try getting users. So this is the, like from history I picked get, like whenever I say API user, I should get back a JSON response with 3 entities. Let's see. So it is saying 200 OK, meaning like it was successful, right? Now let's analyze the JSON body, right? Yeah, see here, Sangeeta, Abhi, Ishan, and each one of them have unique ID. So the JSON response came back. So what we did here is, we, instead of going from front end, that Angular in this case, we are invoking the REST endpoints of this backend through Postman. So this is the thing. Like you see, you got back a JSON response, and JSON response looks like this. This is the entity JSON. 3 entities are there. Now, if you hit let's say API with particular value, now let's say 2, right? In this case, let's do 2, and I'll just send 2. Now it is like asking give me 1. So in this case, Sangeeta Dharwad, Sangeeta at abc.com. So you can get back individual thing. Now let's try doing like this. See, why we got this thing? Because we deleted one entity, and then we recreated. So this thing does not exist. So like for a given ID 1 does not exist, we got back null, right? Now if I say 4, what should be the thing? It should be Ishan. Yeah, Ishan, right? So you got the concepts, right? So basically, we can invoke the backends directly using REST endpoints. Now, what we need to do is, instead of registering user through this interface, I will register through Postman, right? Let me do that. Let me do that. Okay. So is there a post? Yeah, there's a post here. Okay, now let me register my second son, right? So it is like, I'll just say body is this JSON body, and I'll just say post. I'll just say post, and at this API endpoint, right? I'll just say send. So it is saying created. Like ID we got 5, Shivansh, Hubli, and some email ID. Now this would have got registered here in the backend, right? It has creating user, it has created. Now that should become available here, right? We didn't register through this page, but we registered through Postman directly into the backend. Now I'll just say list all users. There is just see here, she wants, it became available. Now if you say get, right, yeah, now if you say get on particular thing, we should get four things, right? And that's the thing here happening here. ID 2, 3, 4 and 5. So I'll summarize. Basically there will be something called front end and back end. In this case I wanted to analyze that code in front of you, but it is copyright protected. Basically what we need to remember is there will be something called front end, like Angular or React, whatever it can be. Back end, in this case it is a Spring Boot Java application, and then Postman will be talking to backend Spring Boot application, and then it will be invoking it, and then this will be talking to database, and it will be displaying whatever it is displaying from database to backend to front end, like that. So that is the thing. So that API testing essentially means, like whenever you say for example want to do API testing, there will be a document like this which will tell what are the REST endpoints, right? What are the REST endpoints, and then what are the operations, and like what will happen when you invoke that particular REST endpoint with a particular method. So you have to test that thing. So I'm not sure whether I was able to explain it very correctly, but this is a way like API testing happens.